There's a scary haunted tunnel in Pakistan that MMTV wants to go exploring to see what creepy things he can find inside. Exploring a haunted tunnel in the desert at night by yourself, what can go wrong? Apparently a lot.
ये देखिए ये सारा वीराना है और दूर पहाड़ हैं, आबादी से बहुत दूर हूं मैं। ये क्या हो रहा है? स्टार्ट में ही या अल्लाह खैर।
A sparkling cloud of mist lingers around him, spirits he suspects. First it travels in one direction, disappears and comes back to guide him towards the tunnel.
और जो चीज भी ये देखिए, अब ये देखिए, मैं एक जगह पे खड़ा हुआ हूं, मैं बिल्कुल अपनी।
That's really weird, but some downright scary things are caught on camera when he goes to the entrance, like this red stain on the ground that shapes the outline of a person.
लंबी आ रही है। मैं एक जगह पे रुका हूं, मसलसल कोई सरसराहट है।
Strange, unexplained lights give him pause, and you can say whatever you want about this freakishly deep laughter.
ये क्या है? ओह, या अल्लाह, हो गया ये टायर जा रहा है।
It's not the wind doesn't blow tires. He gets out of there fast, not wanting to face whatever is haunting this strange place, and when he takes one last glance at the entrance, he spies movement from above. Something wants to follow him home. After all of these scary moments, I would say yes, this tunnel is haunted. A store security cam in Malaysia has caught a ghost on tape, a strange figure that can teleport at will, and it's got the owners freaking out. I would be freaking out too. 55 seconds is when you can see there's nobody in these clothes. No chest, no head, no hands. Just clothes forming the outline of a person who isn't there. Then at 1 minute and 30 seconds, it sprouts a freaky gray featureless face. And did you see that even scarier, more mysterious figure behind her? 1 minute and 26 seconds is when a much taller shadow figure with a red face appears behind her and then mysteriously goes away. This could be a possession, a ghost, or a demon sighting, or even a hostile takeover from another planet, but it could also simply be video editing. Oh, and of course, this creepy encounter happened at 3:14 in the morning, just 14 minutes shy of 3 a.m., a time when the supernatural world is said to fully open with our own. Jared Costa hears this eerie buzzing noise over his Southern California home at 5 in the evening. He looks above for helicopters but sees nothing. Take a listen and tell me if this sounds like a helicopter or not. I think it sounds like nothing of the sort, but at the same time, I don't have a better explanation to offer. Commenters from Palm Springs to La Mesa all claim to have heard the exact same noise. Years later, the noise remains an unsolved mystery. This video, supposedly taken somewhere along the beaches of New York in 1959, shows an unknown creature washed ashore. It looks like it could belong to some sort of primate species, but its torso is a little too long and its arms are a little too short, plus its entire body is nothing but pure muscle, almost like it's been experimented on. In fact, a closer look reveals that this creature shares the combined characteristics of many different animals, everything from a panther to a bear. If this video is to be believed, then this creature hails from a mysterious nearby research facility called the Plum Island Animal Disease Center. Maybe it escaped the island on its own, or maybe it was improperly disposed of by workers after they were finished with it. Either way, what purpose it served, and what it has been infected with, if anything, has never been revealed. I do think there's a possibility that this video is fake though, because it kind of looks like it was filmed in high definition with a grainy filter. Either way, let me know what you think about its authenticity. Imagine this in the middle of the forest.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
That's what YouTube team Ghost Theory heard in these haunted woods during a paranormal investigation, and apparently it knows something.
Come and touch the device if you know anything about the girl that was...
A second question results in more mysterious answers.
If what that girl was not a person.
And then another unfortunate one.
Is that a Skinwalker?
And finally, they hear it.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
I'd be out of there too. I have no idea what a skinwalker sounds like, but to me, that did not sound animal, nor did it sound human. This team of paranormal explorers sees a stalker in the darkness. YouTuber Rodolfo Augusto and his team are searching a bathroom and are quickly met with fear.
Ei! Ei! Eu escutei barulho lá atrás, ó.
Aonde?
Aqui.
Essa aqui é onde eu tava lá?
Deve ser. Onde que tem lá? Vamos ali, só olhar ali e vamos lá pra casa.
Is someone stalking them?
Essa devastação toda. E no sítio da minha tia...
Ó. Tudo caído, ó, pra dentro. Aqui, mano, parece túmulo. Olha que túmulo ali, velho.
Parece que foi enterrado pessoa aí, né?
They find some strange prints in the sand.
O quê?
Ó. Ó.
Pô, tem alguma coisa aqui que passou em cima aí, ó. Sai daí, pinguim, vai que tem gente morta aí.
But they don't yet see it. I think someone must be hot on their heels, but what exactly that is, only time will tell. Kevin Ramos is holding a paranormal investigation session at the Fort Delaware, which was in use from the mid-1800s to the mid-1900s, and is said to be ripe with spiritual activity, even after being decommissioned well over 50 years ago. After a day of walking, they stop and ask a few questions to the spirits upon nightfall. Look what happens when they try to get to know more about the ghost of a person stationed here.
Did you like him? Can you cross the rods if you liked him?
First, a white apparition passes by, followed by a black shadow that one of them actually catches out of the corner of their eye. This isn't their reflection in the window, because none of them are walking, and in this exact moment, this person thinks they feel a tap on their shoulder and shine a light behind them to make sure. It definitely looks like something was near them to say the very least. Why she didn't say something as soon as it happened is something I don't know. I guess they were too scared at the time. In mythology, Jinn are beings that appear in human form and are of a spirit level lower than angels. They have been known to possess humans. It appears one is possessing this boy in this video. An attempt to exorcise the demon is being made. As the man chants, the boy sits in a chair beside him, completely out of it. The boy shakes his head, making demonic voices, while the man continues to chant. He starts to rock with the music, his body shaking more and more. The man eventually puts a hand on his head, and the song stops. The boy is gasping for breath. They spray him in the face with a spray bottle of some liquid, perhaps holy water. The man later continues in his chant, patting the boy and moving him around variously. The boy becomes still and quiet for a while. Not long after, you can hear screaming from the other side of the room. Finally, you can see where it's coming from. Another woman, also appearing possessed. Was this boy at last exorcised of the Jinn, or did it simply just make its way into this other woman's body? Devil's Cave. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to enter the Devil's Cave, and what they will witness here may change them forever. The guys seem rattled as they approach the cave, and you'll see they have reason to be.
¿Oíste?
Uy, afuera adentro.
¿Para adentro? Verga, mi gente. No mames, se oyó aquí en corto.
Si fue ahí.
Si fue adentro, fue adentro. Ay, chingas a tu madre, güey. No seas... Vete a la verga. Qué pendejo, cállate.
Let's take another look at what they saw. It looks like a faceless being. As they rush away through the jungle, they catch another creature in their purview.
Güey, ¿dónde vas? ¡Rápido! ¡No mames! ¡No mames, güey! ¡No madre, güey! ¡Acá está esa mamada, güey! ¡Vete a la verga! Espérate, súbete.
Did you see that? Here it is again, slowly this time. There is definitely a figure standing there, but is it the devil? A third capture seems to blur the lines even more. What are these figures? I'm not sure if they're demons, skinwalkers, or the devil himself, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to get a closer look. Number 12. Beware of where the Randonautica app may lead. Published a TikTok by Haley AIG in August of 2020. The app led this unfortunate group into a forest, and they weren't alone. Haley explains that the app took them to a park in the middle of nowhere. As the camera pans around, she notes that they've only seen trees so far, but they seem to have missed this figure poking its head out from behind one of those trees. As they wander across a wooden bridge, this forlorn dark-haired figure dressed in black crosses the path at the end of a dirt road. The girls wander on, and all you can see is the ground for a moment as they wonder if they're being followed, and then it's clear that they are. While many TikTokers are loving this, Austin Payton writes, "I may or may not have fallen off of my bed," while others claim that their souls left their bodies and they threw their phones across the room. Haley writes, "I deleted the Randonautica app after. That's probably for the best." Can you escape this escape room ghost? YouTube team Ghost Club Paranormal and friends are investigating a Los Angeles-based escape room called The Basement that's been experiencing some serious paranormal activity. Just as Jade is introducing the group, a loud bang resounds in the distance.
What was that again?
The team later finds a doll in the middle of the room that none of them saw there before.
Also, I didn't know.
Wait, what? What?
You know what? That's the first thing I looked at.
Wait, it wasn't there.
I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
I looked at that. That's the first thing I noticed.
There's supposed to be in there.
Later, they hear a noise above them.
Whoa. I'm so on edge.
I know, me too. I feel like I'm in like a real life Scooby-Doo scenario now.
Meanwhile, Kelsey Davies and her team capture an EVP on camera in the next room.
Over here.
Oh.
And later, both Kelsey and Jade see the same entity.
I swear to when we came out, I thought I saw like the back of somebody's...
Yeah, like running.
No, I swear to God, I thought I saw the back of somebody's leg, just like that, right behind the door.
Was it black, like a shadow?
Yeah, it was literally...
Is someone in here, playing around with them? Or is there truly something paranormal in this escape room? Whatever's happening in this scary place, I honestly hope they can escape from it. When you hear footsteps approaching your room, you'd better lock the door. Posted by Eli Walt KG to the Ghosts subreddit. This clip captures something invisible entering the Redditor's room. Turn up the volume and you can indeed hear footsteps as Eli films the door of his bedroom. Then quietly the door creeps open. While most can agree this would make a normal person freeze, some commend the Redditor's bravery, while others, like Redditor B565656 Warnham, have you learned nothing from horror movies? You don't walk towards the sound in the dark. Totally, who knows what's lurking in the darkness beyond that door? Smallmouth Crush is making a fishing video on the Potomac River near Washington, D.C. He's drifting by when further down the riverbank something strange catches his eye. A head is sticking out of the water, long black hair. Her back is to him. He looks at the head for a long time, unable to mentally process what he's seeing and not sure what to do. He gives the object a poke just to make sure it is what he fears. It has a face and it is exactly what he's afraid of. I think we are all thinking it's the same thing, especially from this distance, but when he pokes at it some more, an artificial neck joint pops free from the mud. This is a mannequin head, not a real one.
Dude, what is happening? Look at this thing. This is nasty.
Not finding a body is a relief, I suppose, but it also begs the question as to why anyone would take a blindfolded mannequin head out into the woods in the first place. I've heard of people simulating their demented desires onto mannequins before moving on to the real thing as part of their transformation into a full-blown psycho. There's a lot of creepy people out there, I guess. And to further prove my point, he looks up to find something even more sickening nearby.
Look at that freaky thing. I'm out of here.
It looks like somebody has been using this spot to do some pretty twisted fantasizing, and as he speeds away, I can't help but wonder what if that's not a doll. When you're laying down some beats alone at night, the last thing you want to see is a phantom specter drift past a window out of the corner of your eye. This video was posted by East Coast Radio's YouTube channel in October of 2013. In the description they write, "In the middle of Shershin's late night show, the lights and desk shut down and a mysterious figure appeared in the studio area. This area is secured, nobody can get in it without fingerprint authorization, and shows no one entered the studio complex apart from Shershin himself. If we take the studio's word for it, you must admit that such events would be creepy, and when you watch the video itself you feel even more unnerved. The shot shows Shershin at the mixing console, the lights dancing up and down the table, all the lights in the studio are on. A moment later, they all shut off. Apart from the computer monitors and emergency lights, darkness falls over the studio. Shershin picks up the phone to call someone and stands up. Watch the window off to his right. A dark hulking figure lurks past, which seems to alarm Shershin, as no one is supposed to be in the studio. He heads over to the window to get a better look before returning to the phone. The mysterious figure doesn't appear again. While likely not a phantom, as the mystery man looks too solid to be supernatural. What would an intruder be doing entering a studio at night, being that no theft was mentioned? It doesn't seem like burglary was the motive, and why did the lights go out? All very mysterious. Do you think you know what caused this? This YouTuber is trapped. The hungry beast shreds his backpack and smells more supplies up this tree. All it needs to do is get through this pesky human first.
Hey there. Down there.
Amazingly, the bear does as told and goes back down upon the hunter's request. I guess seeing a human talk up close like that must have freaked it out because the animal runs away before chancing a look back at the backpack laying on the ground and deciding against it. Of all the weird things I've ever seen caught on camera in the woods, this has to be one of the weirdest and scariest videos ever, because there's no doubt it's absolutely real. A YouTuber named David Rebordeo hears noises coming from an attic and decides to go up and investigate for himself. Here you can see they are both far away from the source of the noise, and they're not pretending to hear something. David videos the upstairs for a while and doesn't come across much. He passes the camera and starts to climb down the ladder. All of a sudden, the equipment makes a buzzing sound not found in any other part of the video. That's when the noisemaker reveals itself and nearly makes physical contact. It's hard to say if this was a person or some sort of ghostly ghoul. The buzzing noise makes me think that this was a paranormal disturbance, but I guess this could have been CGI, so let me know what you think it was. This leaked video supposedly captures a secret anti-gravity experiment conducted by the government in broad daylight. A military helicopter rises in the air without moving its blades, all while making a magnetic humming sound the entire time. Listen to how bizarre distorted droning becomes more distant as the helicopter somehow flies away. There definitely seems to be something aboard causing that sound, perhaps an experimental anti-gravitational device. I don't know about you, but that definitely does not look or sound like a normal helicopter to me. I have heard that helicopters can sometimes look like this depending on the camera that's recording it, but if someone could provide me with a more concrete explanation, I would really appreciate it. Until then, I have to wonder if this really was a government anti-gravity experiment taken within plain sight of the public. When you're babysitting, sometimes you feel like someone may be in the house watching you. This TikTok video will have you double checking that all your doors are locked. The dude in the video, TikTok handle Tanner J. Shelton, claims that he just put the kids that he's babysitting down for the night when he heard laughter. It was 10:30 p.m. At first he was annoyed, as it was the third time he had to tell the kids to get to bed, as the noises were coming from the baby's room. He assumed the other kids had woken up to check on their sister, so he checked the baby monitor and he saw this. What is that in the top left corner? Looks like a hand reaching in the baby's crib. Redditor MXGIWiz writes on Reddit, after this video, the infant was kidnapped apparently. His caption was, "I'm never babysitting again." Though I think it would be on the news if that happened, and this man would certainly be a suspect, but that doesn't stop people from hypothesizing. Redditor MMocker98 adds some intrigue to this story, recounting that there's an even stranger video on this guy's YouTube channel. Mocker writes, "I believe the one with the woman, video number 5 I think, could possibly be fake, but what if it's not? What if this is all real? It's giving me this weird gut feeling, and I can't find too much information. You know what they say, always trust your gut. What is your gut telling you about this one?"
You see it?
Yeah. What is that?
Let you stop me.
Let's get out of here.
Something strange is in the woods. Nathan Arnold later writes of the unknown creature he's caught on camera. He and his son both saw it and managed to record video evidence for us to look over. Fortunately for their safety, but unfortunate for my analysis, is their distance from the figure. The creepy video is taken far away, so I don't know if this video's a creature, a ghost sighting, or not real at all. The way he and his son both stare in amazement and then run away when the mysterious figure turns in his direction seems like a real enough reaction and not made up. At 26 seconds, it almost looks like somebody wearing a black robe, like a witch or something. The possibilities are endless and none of them are good. The point is, I wouldn't be going back into those woods anytime soon if I were them. It's too scary to handle. Redditor asserted skirted motion-activated cameras detected motion in the middle of the night, but it isn't something I've ever seen before. Keep an eye on the bottom of the garage door. Here it is again, more slowly. Something appears to slip beneath the garage door, but it looks like a shadow. My guess would be that this is an unknown shadow entity. The way the shadow reaches out is even tentacle-like. What do you think it is? A YouTuber named Sunny Cooper has recorded a shadow moving back and forth that looks out of place. Maybe together we can figure out what this strange shadow belongs to. It starts out going one direction, then it comes back the other way. It almost looks like a rat or a small animal of some sort, but that still doesn't explain how it appears to instantly teleport across a large gap twice. I guess this could just be some sort of time-lapse editing, but something about the way the shadow moves looks like it was recorded in real time. Let me know if you have any explanation for what's happening here. A home security camera caught this scary sight in Corvina. Posted by Ruby Gonzalez in December of 2018, Ruby writes, "Two individuals tried to enter a home. One knocked on the door and called out the resident's first name several times. The family was home at the time. You can see one of the men approach with his hood up and a kerchief covering his mouth, wearing a backpack. He knocks on the door, waiting with his head down, likely aware of where the security camera is located. A second dude also approaches, dressed in the same fashion. He's carrying a crowbar. They knock a second and third time, alerting a small dog inside. When a car passes, they both turn to look down the street and ensure there are no witnesses. He knocks several more times, saying, 'Come on, bro.' But the second dude eventually taps him on the arm, indicating it's time to give up and leave, which thankfully they do. Whatever they came for, they left empty-handed." Surveillance cameras sometimes capture images you just can't handle. Posted by Dante1 to the Sir Spook subreddit. You might want to stay inside at night after watching this clip. Dante explains that they put out trail cams because they lost their cat. While they were working out in their garage at night, they set off their motion detector and, a moment later, caught this on camera. The clip plainly shows the men working in the light of the garage. Night has fallen, and the rest of the scene is quite dark. That is, until a phantom spirit drifts into view. The vapor-like phantom has a human figure and flies in from the top right of the screen. In fact, it appears as though the figure strolls right into the frame. MuggleMad32 writes, "This is a really good capture of an apparition," while Explore with Sunny adds that it's pretty unexplainable. Is it truly unexplainable? If so, do you hold the key to the explanation? Unfortunately, this clip isn't longer, or we may have seen where this phantom is off to. Let's hope he didn't do anything to that poor cat. If you saw this on your home security camera, what would you think? According to Johnny Smither333, who posted the video to the Ghosts subreddit, the strange capture came from his living room's motion detection camera. Whatever this flash is had enough presence to set off the camera, but it's unclear what that blur might be. While many in the comments say it's a bug, others like SPM Wiggy offers more creative suggestions. She writes, "It's a tiny witch on a matchstick. Clearly you can see the hat and the giant witch nose." Another Redditor suggests that it could be gremlins. The Redditor says that in slow motion, it looks like it appeared out of thin air. He also notes that as soon as it gets closer to the camera, it doesn't look like any bug he's seen. Have you seen a bug that looks like this? I know that's likely the culprit in cases of videos like this, but I definitely agree I've never seen a bug that looks like this before. Therefore, there is at least a reasonable chance this is truly paranormal. A YouTuber named Shondurez decides to go ghost investigating with his friends at their studio office, which is apparently haunted. They meet up at 2 a.m. and are talking about what they should do next, when something in the next room over wrecks their plans.
What actually was that?
Approximately 10 seconds later, this sound fills the building. Listen to it and tell me if you think it's real or edited.
Wait, shh. Legit.
By now, they are pretty much freaking out and ready to take off. but the spirit isn't quite through with them yet. You'll see absolutely nobody was nearby when this happens, which makes me think it could be real. All of the lights shut off before they get a chance to leave. One of them turns the camera light on just in time to see their friend blankly staring at them from the ground. I guess he could just be acting, and one of his friends pulled him by his feet, but that still doesn't explain this actual ghost sighting at the very end.
Scope! Dude. See through to one fall.
I think this could be real because the raw adrenaline sends his friend barreling straight through a door. This paranormal activity was caught on a camera that's displaying an incorrect time. A YouTuber named For Your Viewing Pleasure thinks they have caught a ghost on video sometime around 3 a.m., not 1:24 like the camera says. Regardless, some creepy moments have been caught on tape as their home CCTV system plays back a bizarre ghost-like in front of the camera. Another thing that's weird besides the ghost is how the background goes totally black for 6 seconds and then even stays black for 1 second after the ghost is no longer caught on tape. For Your Viewing Pleasure says they hope this is a bug, even though they think it's probably paranormal. One person suggested that he has not caught a ghost sighting on video, but a moth instead. These creepy moments caught on camera from 2 to 4 seconds do look like possible wings in motion when slowed down, but I'm not sure what to think. Both sides have good arguments, so take one final look and tell me if this looks like a paranormal security video to you or not. If you were a fan of Tales from the Crypt, this scary video is right up your alley. Published by Proving Demons in October of 2021, this video welcomes you to the land of the no longer living. When they arrive on site, the first thing that greets them is a cemetery.
Oh, it's a cemetery.
There's a cemetery here.
Navigating through brambles down to a lower entrance, they arrive at a barbed wire fence. It's clear that the owners didn't want anyone getting in here. They have to wade through the barbed wire to get to the door. Having traveled 5 hours to explore this site.
Oh, please, God, let it be open. We've traveled 5.5 hours.
At last, they arrive at the door and are thankfully able to open it. Wandering through the old church, they encounter several crypts. More open crypts and coffins are found at the end of the hallway. While well water floods the floor, a human skull is in one open coffin and there is human hair still on it.
No. No. Oh.
Education. So, I want to point out, just shine a light on it for me. There's still hair on its head. Still got teeth. Obviously, oh, that's rotting brain in there.
As he's prodding the skull head, they think they hear something down the hallway.
What?
What's wrong?
Examining the skull more closely, you can see it still has human hair and teeth. As they're talking about how it felt like someone was walking behind them, someone shushes them from what sounds like the corner of the room.
Really?
I've heard that ring later.
What's that? The shh. Somebody just shushed us.
It seems this team of urban explorers has disturbed the peace. All I know is I would never be going back to that place. A YouTuber in India named Fayaz Bamizhan travels to the Kalapalli cemetery at midnight, where a humanoid shadow figure is said to haunt anyone foolish enough to come near. This is the exact moment he accidentally caught a ghost on camera, as his viewers would later point out to him. Something hangs back to watch him under the street lamps. Something strange. You can just barely see the shadow moving away if you watch down by its legs. Considering the infamous haunted graveyard is directly beside him, I think it stands to reason that the shadow is paranormal. Has anything creepy ever turned up on one of your home videos? YouTuber Tink spotted something that stood her hair on end while watching hers back. See if you can spot it. Did you see it? Something scurries past beyond her shoulder to the left. Watch closely. Let's see it again, more slowly this time. Tinks says she was home alone at the time. I feel like it moves too quickly to be anything of this dimension. Is it something from another world? Let me know what you think in the comments. In the moment, you might not catch some unexpected apparition appearing around you. It's only when you play that moment back that you find it. Published by William Villas in September of 2013, he writes in Malay, "This video was filmed on August 3rd, 2013 when we were waiting for the troops to have a video clip that was still unavailable. The video shows a group of men sitting and talking in the darkness. They appear to be sitting in a stairwell as they laugh, completely oblivious to what's going on around them. You see a girl dressed in white with long black hair and shoulders hunched forward pass by slowly at the top of the stairway. The men must not have noticed in the moment as they continue on as usual, but they sure must have gotten the scare of their lives when they watched this clip back later on, only to make this mysterious and unexpected discovery. Once you see the apparition, you watch it again, over and over, because you can't look away from it. This video is all the more reason not to work from home. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Big Bo One Jord explains that a friend sent him this clip after he kept hearing things in the middle of the night. He started taking video to catch some evidence of the noise's source. In the video, the friend walks out into the hallway from his bedroom. As he nears his office, something very clearly moves out of view, but it's not clear what that something is. A Redditor who goes by the username Captain Fatbelly recommends viewers to turn up the brightness on the video. He writes, "It definitely looks like a person. I worry about the chance there might actually be somebody lurking around in your friend's house." Other Redditors agree that it looks like a person, while Scary Ninja Gamer says, "Your friend is screwed." We'd have to agree. DJ Ashba has a YouTube channel full of videos regarding his music career, but one in particular is way different. This CCTV video captures some unexplainable activity in his private backyard. It all starts when a small white blip appears out of nowhere and flashes all the way across the patio. I want to add that this camera does not skip frames, and that the light actually was moving this way in real time. Approximately 10 seconds later, the door opens completely by itself. The door was not slightly open before, and it looks like a calm day with no wind. Coincidentally, the door that opens is also the same door that the white light appeared in moments prior. DJ Ashba checked the security camera after coming home to see his door open, and this video leaves him with no easy answers. The best explanation I have after reviewing the evidence is that this was in fact paranormal, especially considering his other videos are not like this at all. What do you think? A candelabra is something straight out of a haunted castle, so it's no wonder this one is showcasing some really creepy paranormal activity. YouTuber Mr. Devilish looks on as the light fixture starts to dance.
Okay, that's kind of weird. This thing is moving. There's no fan on or anything. This thing's moving. Holy.
When he gets closer, the fixture becomes even more active.
Holy. This is like an old church. It's pretty crazy.
And that's not all.
Oh. That's up. Something going on in here. Okay.
If this was just the light fixture by itself, I think it could be explained. A rodent or animal of some kind could be mucking around in the ceiling, but combined with the curtain closing, I think it's more likely to be paranormal. There's a phantom haunting this women's bathroom, and she doesn't like being disturbed. Posted to the r/paranormal encounter subreddit by Kiraxis. This entity was captured in a women's bathroom in Colombia. The footage shows an empty building at night. Something can be heard causing a disturbance in the bathroom.
Estoy nuevamente aquí, en la puerta del baño.
The security guard looks up and down both hallways. He then approaches the bathroom where he finds that the noise is the faucet shutting on and off.
Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah?
At first, you think that could easily be explained away by some technical malfunction, but then one of the air dryers is triggered too.
¿Estás jugando con la llave?
After a moment, a door from one of the bathroom stalls slams shut, and that's the last straw for the security guard.
Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
He flees the scene. Could this be the real-life version of the fictional Moaning Myrtle? Whoever it is, they sure chose a strange place in which to spend eternity. Renato Garcia claims to have had a paranormal encounter while exploring the house of a witch in Brazil. He finds all these empty bottles carefully arranged in a circle in the middle of the room, possibly for a spell, and then the far door opens all by itself. That's when some really bizarre things are caught on camera, things that are weird but possibly not real.
Victim! Sai.
So the door slams shut by itself, which is creepy, but then he says that the bottles fall over by themselves. However, when you play this part in slow motion, you can clearly see his foot kicking them at 1 minute and 21 seconds. It's hard to see because it's dark, but when you look in slow motion, you can definitely see his shoe. With over 4 million views and nearly 80,000 likes at the time of this video, I just had to give my honest analysis and say I have my doubts about this one. If he really is faking this part, then I have trouble believing the rest of this abandoned house exploration is real. In this house, you'll expect a jump scare around every corner. After experiencing paranormal events in his family home, this man decided to take some video to see if he could capture anything on camera. Let's take the haunted tour. What is happening here? He finds a flower on the stairs. He claims no one in the household knows where it came from. Is this not a warning, as the YouTuber believes? Well, upstairs in the bedroom, it happens again.
Oh man.
Something just threw the clothes from the wardrobe. If those knocks were a warning, I'd take the clothes as a clear message. This ghost wants you to leave. Sometimes ghost hunters become the hunted. Published by Yoon Sai-won in April of 2021. That's what happened to this Korean ghost hunter on one of his most recent investigations. Upon entering the haunted locale, he hears a strange noise.
안녕하세요.
It could be a dog barking in the distance, but who knows? Whatever it is, he has a bad feeling.
불경기요.
And that feeling grows when the EMF meter reacts strongly, despite there being no electricity in the place. Using facial recognition software, faces also start to appear around the abandoned place. And they're getting closer by the second. Later, as the ghost hunter is using a spirit box, he hears a loud bump in the night. And then again as he continues his search. Is Yoon Sai-won being stalked? It may be best to call off this ghost hunt. If you're looking to have night terrors for weeks and jump scares for days, have I got the Scream Fest for you. This clip was posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Exploring with Eric. In the video, the crew is exploring an abandoned house. The interior is in disarray. Fresh markings are painted on the walls as they attempt to communicate with spirits in the home. One crew member asks the spirit to knock once if he wants them to leave. No answer, but he asks once again to knock before they leave to let them know he is there. He demonstrates by knocking on the wall, and this time the spirit answers. Listen closely, his response is distant, but you can hear it distinctly. The spirit knocks back, and hopefully this video is proof that the crew lived to tell the tale.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
Okay.
If you hear something outside, don't go investigate. You might not like what you find. Published to YouTube in July of 2006, TCan456 writes, "Just watch, but not before you go to bed. Take his advice." In this home video, our friend, who is clearly scared judging by his breathing patterns, looks around his house after hearing something and then heads outside to investigate. He passes a large potted plant as he turns a corner. Nothing appears to be there, but when he turns back, a figure flees from behind the plant and races into the darkness. The cameraman runs after it but quickly loses the creature. He searches along some thick hedges in his backyard and soon faces the plant man again. Instead of searching him out further, he races inside, locking the door behind him, runs to his room, locking that door too, and gets in bed. All the while there is banging. Although it's not clear where the sound is coming from. The rest of the video is nothing but a black screen, one upon which you keep expecting a jump scare to surface. Don't worry, the fear is over, but my questions about this video remain unanswered. Never in a million years should you cross this bridge. Posted to TikTok by Real Horror Talk, a man on a motorcycle enters onto a narrow wooden bridge crossing a wide and fast moving river. There are no railings. Let's watch. As he rides steadily across, he looks to his right and then to his left. The water is flowing rapidly past. He continues on as if he does this every day, and maybe he does. Those in the comments say when he looked left, they fell in the water. Others say it's like a terrible dream, but TikToker Trust Me has a more accurate reading. He writes, "How my parents got to school. I think we've all been there." A YouTuber named Trey P is wandering around an empty graveyard somewhere in New Orleans, all by himself, when he hears this voice out of nowhere. He claims that the voice belongs to a ghost, though to be honest, it might just be his. The only way to tell if this video is real would be to have Trey P say a sentence and then compare his voice with the voice in the video. Have you ever heard your loved one's voice coming from another world? Posted to TikTok by Gio Van Lima, this creepy video will catch you off guard.
Por eso, man.
Venga.
Por eso.
Oh my God.
The man recording hears a woman's voice which he identifies as his girlfriend's, coming from around the corner, but he turns to find her asleep next to him. He writes that they were alone at the time, so who or what is trying to lure him into another room?
Venga.
Boys.
Oh my God.
Is this one of those demon spirits? I think that's a strong possibility. It's early in the morning when somebody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and I mean that literally. The silhouette of a hand silently beckons beneath his brother's bed. The uploader of this video says the creepy shadow hand appeared one morning without warning and that it's real. I guess he was too afraid to go under the bed and find out what it was, because the video ends then and there. Can't say I blame him. Hopefully somebody is holding their arm over the bed to create an illusion with their shadow of a hand reaching out, because otherwise this is just beyond creepy. Deep inside these tunnels lies something no one was meant to see. Published to YouTube in November of 2016, Connor Does Adventure explains, "We did not fake or plan any of this. We just started recording for a blog and this is what we found." Entering deep into a watery tunnel, the boys start to hear something.
No, I can't.
They all freak each other out and start running towards an exit. At first you think they were just scared and adrenaline caught up with them, but it turns out someone or something was in fact chasing them. Once out in the sunlight, they stand at the entrance before heading into the tunnel a short ways again. A strange squealing sound can be heard, and as the camera focuses in, a figure is clearly seen, although it's unlike any creature you'd ever seen before. It's gray-skinned and alien-like, and it's marching towards them with a determined air. Any ideas what this is? Is it a madman? Or is it a watery tunnel creature? Most importantly, is this thing harmless? Or should they be running immediately? Don't wait around to find out. Mohammed bin Naim has caught a flurry of weird things on camera that I think needs to be more closely examined to see if it's paranormal. He chooses to investigate the slamming door in the room ahead instead of the breaking glass downstairs. It looks like a ghost is slamming the door, but look again. Approximately 29 seconds is when you can see him try to grab the door unseen, but unintentionally showing his hand in the process. He is slamming the door himself, I'm 99% sure. This video, while possibly fake, is important to show because I think it could shed light on the other ghost hunting videos like this. The camera person could be reaching out with their hand and slamming the door, but I guess we'll never know for sure. A beautiful home built in 1934 turned ugly when in 2009, the real estate mogul who bought the home took his wife's life, claiming the woman went missing on a hike. A search began for his wife but turned up nothing. A year later, the man put a new addition on his home that raised enough suspicion for police to request a search warrant. They found the wife buried beneath the home. The man was given more than 20 years behind bars, and the house remains abandoned. Published by Dark Exploration Films, this walkthrough of the home is incredibly disturbing. Taking viewers through the grounds and inside the home, the explorer comes upon the hole in which the woman was buried.
Let's go into the room that everybody wants to see. So this room was added in 2009. And once the police found out about this construction, they were a little skeptical.
Many in the comments are bewildered that anyone could live in the home they buried their wife in without getting telltale-hearted to the point of insanity. Others feel a sense of darkness and foreboding and even a feeling of sadness there. Surely the woman's spirit remains. In July of 2015, the student paranormal investigation team caught some inexplicably strange and mysterious activity on camera while exploring the Yorktown Memorial Hospital in Texas.
Yeah, that's scary. It's there. How do we not see this while we're down here? See? That's the reason we didn't come this way. What? Oh, cars.
At 40 seconds, they see a large eye of a mysterious figure high in the doorway that retreats as soon as they turn around. They face the entrance to this dark room. The camera blurs, a sign that something paranormal is near. More mysterious things happen when they go exploring inside of this place in the abandoned, haunted Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
No way. No way.
Is there wind moving there?
No way, dude. There's no wind in here. Say you're moving the ball? They can't be.
In the windowless room, a ghostly presence seems to make itself known, then the ball stops moving. The camera blurs again, and the strangeness ramps up further.
They can't be. Was it even in the center, like? Hear that? Is that ball still moving? It stopped. Look at that. You see that?
More paranormal activity is caught on their camera. Scary sounds in the next room. They try to get more evidence, but it seems whatever paranormal forces were in this room are done freaking them out for the night. The student paranormal investigation team cannot explain what in the video could make the ball move besides a ghost. They swear there was no draft in that strange and mysterious hospital room. If you ever find yourself in the middle of nowhere at night, beware who or what else might be out there with you. Published in January of 2020, Junked Up Kitten asserts that a ritual had occurred in his yard of 20 acres in the Pikes Peak Wilderness area of Colorado. In the video, the man says he just got home and his wife left almost immediately for her night shift. He was playing some games on his computer when his dog started freaking out. That's when he started to hear a weird whistling coming from outside, so he dons his boots and other winter gear before heading out to investigate the matter, with his dog in the remote darkness. Already courageous in my opinion. He walks out into the snow under a full moon, checks on his hens in their hen house, and also walks through his storage sheds. That's when he hears his dog barking like crazy.
Well, you got something?
He sets out in search of his dog to see what's got him all riled up and comes across a strange sight. Chicken feet and a bone hanging from a tree by some orange twine. Off in the distance, he spots fire in the darkness, which he says looks like candlelight. Needless to say, this all freaks him out. He decides to investigate and starts walking towards the distant fire. Soon he comes across the ritualistic setting. Tarot cards are all laid out on the ground, surrounded by 5 votive candles, an unlit lantern, and a purple cloth bag. It seems that Ziggy the dog scared off whoever was out there. They left the place in a hurry, abandoning the ritual ceremony, tarot cards and all. So many questions remain. Who were these people? Why were they on the man's property in the first place? And what were they doing? Most importantly, what do the tarot cards read? Hopefully this man's property isn't now cursed. Salmon is supposed to be good for you, but this piece has something extra inside of it that definitely isn't.
Maybe they'll give me a discount on that one.
As he captures the creature on video, 25 seconds is when the worm finds a soft spot and plunges back inside. This video is especially terrifying when you realize this is not abnormal, nor is it the store's fault. Most salmon is infected with these worms, and improper cooking could introduce a live one into your system. So remember, worms wiggling in your food is a common occurrence that is occasionally caught on tape, and don't forget that you're still eating crunchy ones even when properly cooked. I think they should put a label about it on the packaging because most people probably don't know about this slimy little problem and could have eaten them already, including me and you. Going to medical school presents many challenges, high tuition, debt, and the occasional wild animal encounter. If you were coming up the steps and saw a black panther animal barreling at you, you would almost certainly run. Big mistake. It's already in motion and your panic would trigger its instincts. You're not getting far. The panther starts to go into someone's room, but something makes it think twice about going in. It probably doesn't like being cornered with one exit and chooses not to go further inside. The college in Karnataka, India went into lockdown as a result of this scary CCTV video. Yeah, I guess that would do it. I should point out that this isn't all that uncommon in schools across India, and I found some other creepy videos too. Here's a leopard at a college in Nainital. Thankfully, the only prey he finds is a car passing by, but imagine a college student looking at their feet walking along this fence. They'd never see it coming. I just hope everybody's alright. The next time you're relieved to find yourself alone in an empty subway car, consider that maybe you're not alone at all. Published to YouTube in June of 2015, this clip shows a subway car that will give you the chills. A lone man sits aboard the haunted car. After watching the clip, we wonder if he's the sole passenger, because this car has a reputation for being haunted. Because look at this darkened window pane to the left. A scary, distorted face appears here, changing expression slightly as the man sits on the opposite side, completely unaware. The face disappears and the window pane goes black again, but the distortion later reappears, looking equally upsetting. What do you think is going on here? Is this an actual face in the window, or just a trick of the light coupled with motion from the subway? Prison. These prisoners are locked up for life and the afterlife. YouTube team Explore a Lot explores the UK's most haunted prison. Listen quietly, they hear a distant whistle.
What the was that?
Shortly after, while doing the Estes method, you can hear a whisper of a response. Listen closely.
Did you die in this room?
A quiet voice says yeah. It sounds to me like the immortal prisoners here are on lockdown for eternity. Number 7. Built around 1635, the Pidhertsi Castle is said to be one of the most haunted places in Ukraine. Take a look at some of the best paranormal evidence ever taken out of the creepy castle.
Andriana! Andriana!
A ghostly figure appears in the window and waves at them before mysteriously disappearing. It's not a reflection of clouds because of how quick it fades in and out. The person filming calls out the name Adriana, who I think was the name of one of the king's many wives hundreds of years ago, and whose life was possibly taken by him. Or it's just good editing. Hard to say. This place is said to be absolutely flooded with supernatural forces, so who knows? A YouTuber named Jacatera lives outside of an Air Force base somewhere in the southeast Michigan. He has been seeing some strange things in the sky lately, so he decides to point a security camera straight up and live stream. Not too long after, he captures this strange sighting. Jacatera isn't sure if this is an alien UFO, a secret government project, or some sort of paranormal orb, but he is sure that it was scanning the ground as if it was looking for something. Let me know if you have a reasonable explanation for this, or if you've seen anything that looks similar, especially if you live in the same state as the cameraman. A ghost hunting channel in Portugal, called Supernatural Persecution, is attempting to solve an unexplained mystery that's been haunting locals for years. According to legend, this haunted place in the dark creepy woods is where a bride-to-be once threw herself onto train tracks after discovering her fiancé was unfaithful. Ghost sightings have occurred ever since, and few dare to explore here because so much has already gone wrong. While walking down the long forgotten path, flanked by scary woods on both sides, they think they hear something.
Leonardo, tá vendo alguma coisa? Vai. Leonardo, tá vendo alguma coisa? Vai.
Scary voices and other weird noises from within the haunted woods. The ghost bride is near, as the ghost hunters squint into the darkness.
Leonardo do céu! Olha o vulto branco lá, ó! Passando atrás de você, cara!
A mysterious figure, an apparition, crosses their path and leaves them absolutely terrified. The possible sighting of a ghost wearing a white bridal gown, well creepy, could also be someone in black clothes holding a white sheet over their head to create the illusion of a long flowing headdress. It's too far away to tell for sure. Likewise, this alleged ghost voice sounds more like one of their friends, rather than something supernatural wailing in anguish. But even though I'm not fully convinced, this paranormal evidence has thousands convinced that it's real, so maybe I'm wrong. Octagon Hall. Welcome to Octagon Hall in Franklin, Kentucky. Built in 1862, it still stands today, and it's reputed to be haunted by its history. YouTube channel Hauntings with Hodge explores this unusual dwelling, and as they set up their paranormal devices, they start going off like crazy.
On the top of the steps?
Upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm filming it right now.
Is there someone on the top of the steps? What the f was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was like a group.
Later, they get a message from Harriet on their recording device.
Yeah, it is.
Harriet was the name of one of the home's residents. As the team talks about the recording, Harriet confirms her presence once more.
It's like, I think it was like, my name's Harriet.
Yeah,
like, she's trying to get it out. Here. Oh! Thank you.
Is Harriet truly here? I believe she is, and I don't, for a second, believe she's a good spirit. Number...
Do you hear that?
Eerie Safari 13 and their friend hear a mysterious knocking on the door of the laundry room. Listen again.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
That's not a washing machine, that's knocking. They go to the door and there's nothing there as far as I can tell, but that doesn't mean there isn't a ghost in the hallway haunting them. When they go up to the door, it stops, but that just makes this TikTok video even scarier in my opinion, because it's like the ghost is messing with them. A YouTuber named Nosy is poking around an old abandoned home that is in rough shape. The place is crumbling on all sides and covered in debris. Some sections look like they could collapse at any minute, so he doesn't go too far inside. It's the middle of the day though, with plenty of natural light, so Nosy creeps around the outskirts and even dares to check out a few rooms for a better look. He's having a look through one of the more secure looking rooms on the bottom floor, when apparently something notices his presence and starts rushing his way. Nosy wisely retreats out to the nearest exit and cuts his adventuring short for the day. The upstairs was not safe for him to explore, so it's doubtful that someone would live up there, though still possible I suppose. Either way, the footsteps were clearly human and not from an animal, and Nosy was clearly all by himself throughout this video. Therefore, the only other explanation I can come up with, besides a homeless person, is an actual ghost. Whatever it is, Nosy says that he will go back to the house and solve the mystery once and for all. So be sure to check on his channel to see if he ever does. I hope he stays safe and I wish him the best of luck. Here's a bit of universal advice that applies to everyone, no matter which country you're in. If you and your friends are thinking about exploring some creepy haunted abandoned places, just don't. It could save your life. This YouTuber went exploring these abandoned houses in Egypt and caught some scary stuff on camera that left him and his friends running for their lives. The group has a bad feeling and should have left early, but they keep exploring because no one wants the shame that comes with being the most scared. They're looking for a way into this house but never get the chance. They still can't believe what they are seeing, so they take one last final look. The figure is still there and they're still scared. When hiding in a field doesn't work, they decide to run deeper into the forest. Their plan works and they vow never to return to this area again, and for good reason. I don't know if there really was someone who they didn't know living in this place, or if it was just one of their friends. It's probably a skit though because of how slow the person chasing them walks. Christian Garcia and a couple of his friends are riding around on a motorcycle late at night through the streets of Mexico and are enjoying their night when suddenly they come across something absolutely terrifying and startling on the road. Right here. This seems to just be a really sort of like isolated road in the middle of nowhere. It's clearly nighttime, and this individual is just sitting out here, staring off into the distance. I wish they would have asked if they needed help. Instead, just sort of take off. But I guess they do decide they should turn around, which is the right thing to do, so respect to these guys.
Hola, señora. ¿Qué dice? ¿Qué? ¿Quién es? ¿Qué le pasa?
¿Cómo se llama?
¿Cómo se llama? Está en medio de la nada, ¿no? ¿Le pasa algo?
If anybody who speaks Spanish could please translate what was said in this conversation, but I assume they were asking if they were all right, to which they get no response from the stranger, and I think eventually just decide, yes, to just take off.
¿Le pasa algo?
Even when Christian and his friends drive back to where the mysterious stranger is sitting down on the side of the road, it doesn't really seem as though they are trying to talk to her too much, and I guess it makes sense because she is a complete stranger, and you never know exactly what a stranger is capable of. I just hope this person is okay and isn't suffering from any problems, but if they are, I hope they will be okay in due time. Bottle of cleaning solution is far from scary until it moves across the counter on its own. The clerk has his back turned, so it's not him. It never moves when he's looking. He can sense something strange, but when he turns around, the object stops. He probably has the bottle out because he wiped the counter down. If the surface is still wet, then that could be why the object is sliding towards him. But if that were the reason, then why would it stop moving every time he turns around? That part seems more like a ghost is messing with him. So is our freaked out friend in India really working front desk at a haunted office building? Based on the weird things caught on CCTV, I really think the evidence presents a strong case for the paranormal. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.